Hey guys, All in Crypto here, and welcome back everybody for another YouTube video. This is going to be, I believe, the first Cosmos video of the year. Last week we took quite a heavy look at Polkadot, Algorand, and a couple of other cryptocurrencies, but really this year we've been on a crusade to try and educate the masses about all the exciting things taking place within the cryptocurrency market. And space, the blockchain industry, really. And I couldn't do that without, of course, mentioning Cosmos, because Cosmos has gained quite a lot of hype. You know, today it's down less than many other altcoins in terms of from a price perspective. And it's actually been showing a lot of relative strength. You know, if you look at Atom BTC, more Atom, and some of the other coins. And is this for a reason, or is this just hype? That's what we're going to be talking about in this video. From the lows in July, Atom actually did a 200% rally. It's retraced quite a bit of that now, but it outperformed most cryptos out there. And I think there's a reason for this. Atom is a project, or Cosmos is a project that I'm very excited about, because when we talk about Cosmos, we're not necessarily talking about a cryptocurrency. We're talking about a network of sovereign cryptocurrencies, so many different cryptocurrencies that are all ran within the cosmos. So if you imagine planets and how they all are within the cosmos, imagine blockchains. This is the whole thesis behind Cosmos. It truly is brilliant. So we have Ethereum at the moment. We're going to be talking about IBC in this video, because it really is genius for somebody that's seen all the hacks and things that have taken place with bridges. It's nice to see how this is getting solved through IBC. You also have XCM for Polkadot. Polkadot's another kind of what I would call layer zero, although some people would say that they're not layer zeros. They're kind of blockchain ecosystems that involve their own, sovereign layer one blockchains. But what these guys are doing is truly revolutionary. If you imagine Ethereum and how you have, Aave, Uniswap, you have all these dApps built on top of Ethereum. But Ethereum is the layer one that they're all built on top of. Well, Cosmos is kind of the same in the sense that it's something you can build on top of, but instead of being able to build a dApp, you can build your own independent blockchain. And this is the map of zones. You know, Terra, which at one point reached $40+ billion in terms of market cap, it was a top 10 crypto, was indeed built on Cosmos. You can also see the Cosmos Hub, which is their kind of layer one. You got Fetch AI. You also have the Cronus chain, which is crypto.com smart contract chain, layer one. And then you've got crypto.org. And you've got a number of other products here. Certainly some of these we are looking into, and we will make videos on individual projects that are building. And we have already covered, I think, Osmosis, Juno, and Evmos. So if anybody wants to go and check that out, you're welcome to do so. But this is the difference. So when I say that, if you look at the sort of lineage of blockchain, you had Bitcoin, which was, the first generation, the grandpa, and then you had Ethereum, which was the father. And now you have these kind of, I guess you could say the third generation would be maybe proof of stake layer ones. And now you almost have this fourth generation, entirely different way of doing blockchain with Polkadot and Cosmos, which is why I was such a fan of both of them, that may prove to be the winner, because there's inherent values that building on top of a layer one bring. So a real issue that blockchains have is that Ethereum natively, or without, there's no trustless solution for Ethereum to be able to interact with Cardano or Solana or Polkadot or Avalanche or Cosmos. There's no trustless way for us to take Ethereum and have it on these other layer one protocols. Whereas what Cosmos has done is they've gone, here's how we solve this. We create a framework in which the entire blockchain, not dApps, space can be built on top of, where they're all their own sovereign blockchains like Ethereum's or whatever it may be. And inherently, because of the fact that they're built on Cosmos, and actually we're now seeing IBC go over to other chains, which means there'll be links to other blockchains through IBC, this trustless kind of, it's not a bridging mechanism, but it's more of a messaging mechanism to kind of bridge the entire space. But what you're seeing with Cosmos is you're seeing, and this is why it's gained as much hype recently as it has, because people are finally wrapping their heads around this. This is something we've been making Cosmos content every now and then for a while now, and we probably will get a lot more aggressive with it because it's just such a fascinating ecosystem. I love seeing things that are done differently. Even in Osmosis's terms, how many dexes do we have now, guys? And it's a lot of dexes. We had the vampire attack, which of course was Sushi Swap from Uniswap. We just copied it. A lot of dexes just do the same thing, whereas Osmosis has done something different because they've been built on top of Cosmos. And again, because all these chains will essentially be able to harness the power of inter-blockchain communication protocol. And we're going to explain what that is. We looked at XCM and different versions of XCM for Polkadot. Well, this is kind of Cosmos's version. And actually you can take, and we've got one of them coming on the show soon, projects, or there is one project that's building on top of Polkadot that is going to have IBC. They're building a Rust version sort of IBC that will actually mean they'll gain access to the entire Cosmos ecosystem. So they'll almost bridge these two networks together eventually once they've fully rolled out. And this is the future. You know, how is blockchain going to gain real adoption if it's siloed and there's these if this sort of decentralized vision can't be maintained, because the only way that we can bridge from one chain to another is through a bridge. We've seen Wormhole, we've seen so many hacks on bridges, and bridges are a hacker's wet dream. Whereas with these new kind of layer zero protocols, these new builders, you really want to think of Cosmos kind of like almost as what the crypto space is today, if that makes sense, with all these different layer ones. Cosmos is literally just that. And maybe it becomes the standard, maybe it doesn't. That's for you guys to decide There's other chains doing the same thing, but it really is revolutionary. And I think this has a lot to do with why Cosmos has actually done so well. And certainly when we see other coins that have gone on to put in new lows, obviously after the FTX spill, Cosmos actually has held up very, very well. And I think this is because of the sort of revolutionary nature of it. And I think actually Cosmos did well in the last bull market, but potentially in this bull market, it's going to see itself in the top 10 and beyond. I hope that's made sense and I've not confused too many people. It really is initially quite hard to get your head around, but once you've done so if we look at these blockchains, you know, the Cosmos Hub, Secret Network, for example, is its own layer one. Something we mentioned. This is an EVM layer one. This is kind of like the EVM layer one, I guess, on Cosmos. These are all individual blockchains, so you could almost imagine this as the entire crypto space. And these are like Ethereum, Avalanche, Solana, you know, whatever it may be. But the issue that you have with the current crypto space is that these blockchains can't really connect with one another without that trusted third party, and that trusted third party often can't be trusted. There's flaws in the code, wherever it may be, and it often involves locking something at one end and taking it out the other. IBC somewhat does that, but it almost does it in a trustless manner, which is huge. One of the laws of blockchain, or one of the kind of real appealing aspects, is this decentralized nature that it brings to the table. This is a problem. You know, how in finance do we eliminate third parties? Well, blockchain provided that solution through smart contracts. And of course, Bitcoin, you could say, and if you're looking for store of values. And this is the evolution of that. We're going one step further and we're going, instead of these siloed systems, how can we integrate everything and have this all working together? And actually, Cosmos, imagine the value if the entire crypto space, let's call it crypto entity, had a coin attached to it, if that makes sense. So imagine if blockchain as a whole had a blockchain coin, and that was the thing that secured the entire network, everything built on top of blockchain technology. It's kind of what Cosmos are doing, guys. I really can't understate it. So let's talk about IBC, the Inter-Blockchain Communication Protocol. I'll go ahead and get rid of my face. Ever wondered how cross-chain communication is possible? Get a fast introduction to the world of inter-blockchain communication protocol, IBC. Learn more about the transport, authentication, and ordering layer of IBC, and take a deeper dive into how token transfers between chains become possible. Finally, have a quick look at the Interchain accounts and the tools that are available to visualize networks of chains connecting with IBC. So what is IBC? Let's get straight into it, guys. I'm going to try and keep this short and sweet. I don't want it going on too long. We've made quite a few videos today. Inter-blockchain communication protocol solves for communication between blockchains, which is particularly important in the Cosmos universe. So in this section, you will learn what IBC is, so on and so forth. The Inter-blockchain communication protocol is a protocol to handle authentication and transport of data between two blockchains. IBC requires a minimal set of functions specified in the Interchain standards. Notice that those specifications do not limit the network topology or consensus algorithm, so IBC can be used with a wide range of blockchains or state mechanisms. The IBC protocol proves a permissionless way for relaying data packets between blockchains, unlike most trusted bridging technologies, exactly what we said at the start. The security of IBC reduces to the security of participating chains. So I am currently trying to be in talks with a blockchain that's actually bringing IBC to Polkadot, which means that essentially these two ecosystems would be connected through this one blockchain. But that's for another video. Hopefully we've got these guys coming on the show. IBC solves a widespread problem, cross-chain communication. This problem exists on public blockchains when exchanges wish to perform swaps. The problem arises early in the case of application-specific blockchains, where early assets is likely to emerge from its own purpose-built chain. Cross-chain communication is also a challenge in the world of private blockchains in cases where communication with a public chain or a private chain is desirable. There are already IBC implementations for private chains. Goes on to talk. Cross-chain communication between application-specific blockchains in Cosmos creates the potential for high horizontal scalability with transaction finality. These design features provide convincing solutions to well-known problems that plague other platforms, such as transaction costs, networks, and so on and so forth. So it would mitigate all of this. Then it goes on to talk about the Internet of Blockchain. Most Cosmos applications execute on their own purpose-built blockchain, running their own validator set. So this is what people don't quite understand with, yes, Cosmos secures the network in many ways and is the builder, but all these blockchains, they really are like their own Ethereums or their own, Cardanos or whatever it may be. And that for me is huge, and it really has changed the entire blockchain space and the way we think and the way we look to do blockchain. I'm going to love and leave you. I don't really want to continue to ramble on, guys. Maybe if you guys want more of an in-depth guide on IBC and some of the components to Cosmos, let me know, because this is to me, exciting, to say the least. But yeah, I'm going to love and leave you on that note, guys. If you have enjoyed this content, a like is always appreciated, so is a comment, and I'll see you all in the next YouTube video. Thanks a lot for watching, ladies and gents.